A prison with no doors, no light, only darkness, suffocation, and an eerie silence. Where every breath feels heavy, every moment rings an alarm of danger, and every step is a fragile thread between life and death. Then imagine, you are trapped thousands of feet beneath the earth, in a place where mistakes are unforgivable, where the air feels heavier, and the echoing silence tears through your nerves. Once you step inside, there are no guarantees of return. This is no ordinary cave. It is a graveyard of haunting stories. Veryovkina Cave, the deepest and most terrifying cave in the world. Those who descended, not all made it back. Are you ready to face this darkness? Nestled beneath the jagged peaks of the Caucasus Mountains, buried deep within the heart of the planet, lies a natural wonder so perilous that even the most seasoned adventurers tremble at its name. Veryovkina Cave isn't just a geological marvel, it's a labyrinth of danger where absolute darkness reigns supreme, temperatures hover near freezing, and the smallest error can spell doom. This is no ordinary cave, it's the deepest known cave on Earth, a subterranean abyss that challenges the limits of human endurance, stretching to a mind-boggling depth of 7,257 feet, 2,212 meters. Veryovkina Cave carves a vertical scar into the rugged terrain of Abkhazia, a contested region straddling the borderlands of Russia and Georgia. To grasp its scale, imagine stacking 23 statues of liberty end to end, their torch-lit crowns swallowed by the Earth's crust. That's how far this cave plunges. Its tunnels twist and turn for over 10 miles, a claustrophobic maze of rock and shadow that tests the spirit of anyone who enters. But the true horror of Veryovkina isn't measured in feet or meters. It's found in the stories etched into its walls, tales of courage pushed to the breaking point, of tragedies that defy explanation, and of mysterious deaths that linger like ghosts in its depths. This isn't just a cave, it's a proving ground for the brave, a graveyard for the reckless, and the enigma that continues to captivate and terrify. What drives people to risk everything to explore it? Is it the pursuit of knowledge, the thrill of the unknown, or something darker, a call from the abyss itself? As we unravel its history and the chilling events that have unfolded within, one thing becomes clear. Veryovkina Cave is a place where legends are born and where they die. The saga of Veryovkina Cave begins in 1968, a time when the Cold War cast long shadows and Soviet ambition reached into every corner of the Earth, even beneath it. A team of speleologists, driven by curiosity and the spirit of discovery, stumbled upon a narrow fissure atop a 500-foot mountain in the Caucasus Range. Armed with rudimentary gear, ropes, carbide lamps, and sheer determination, they descended into the unknown. But their journey was short-lived. At just 377 feet, the cave's tight passages and treacherous drops forced them back to the surface. For decades, Veryovkina remained a tantalizing mystery, its true depths hidden behind walls of limestone and silence. The cave might have faded into obscurity if not for a resurgence of interest in the 21st century. In 2015, a new generation of explorers equipped with modern technology, GPS, high-strength ropes, and LED headlamps returned to the site. Their discovery of a previously unnoticed passage reignited the quest to conquer Veryovkina. Over the next 3 years, expedition after expedition chipped away at its secrets, mapping its labyrinthine tunnels with painstaking precision. By 2018, the world stood in awe as the results were unveiled. Veryovkina Cave was confirmed as the deepest on Earth, plummeting 7,257 feet into the planet's core, with over 10 miles of passages snaking through the mountains. Descending into Veryovkina is no casual endeavor. The entrance, perched high on a windswept peak, is a mere slit in the rock, so narrow that explorers must wriggle through on their stomachs, their bodies scraping against jagged stone. Inside, there's no respite. The air is thick and stagnant, devoid of the breeze that sustains life above. Sunlight is a distant memory, replaced by an oppressive darkness that presses against the eyes. The terrain is a nightmare of vertical shafts plunging hundreds of feet, muddy corridors that cling to boots, and sheer rock faces that demand every ounce of strength to climb. Temperatures hover just above freezing, chilling the bones even through layers of gear. Why, then, do people brave such conditions? For some, it's the call of science, to study the cave's unique geology, its ancient formations, and the microorganisms that thrive in its depths. For others, it's the allure of adventure, the chance to stand where few have stood and to conquer the unconquerable. But the risks are undeniable. Every expedition is a gamble with fate, a dance with forces beyond human control. And for some, that dance ends in silence. September 2018 marked a turning point in Veryovkina's history, a moment when nature bared its teeth and reminded humanity of its insignificance. A team of Russian cave explorers, led by the seasoned Pavel Demidov, embarked on a daring mission into the abyss. With them were two acclaimed photographers, Robbie Schoen and Jeff Wade, whose lenses had captured some of the world's most extreme landscapes. Their goal was ambitious: to document the cave's haunting beauty and bring its secrets to the surface. The descent was grueling. For 4 days, they navigated a punishing gauntlet of obstacles, slippery, mud-slick paths that threatened to send them sliding into oblivion, icy drafts that numbed their fingers, and vertical drops so steep they required hundreds of feet of rope to traverse. Each step drained their energy, but their resolve held firm. By the 4th day, they reached Camp 6, a precarious outpost 6,900 feet below the surface. Here, just a few hundred feet above the cave's bottom, an underground lake shimmered in the gloom, a serene contrast to the chaos above. But serenity was fleeting. As two team members began their ascent back to the surface, they noticed an ominous change. Water, icy and relentless, began trickling into the cave, a harbinger of disaster. Above ground, a violent storm had unleashed torrents of rain, transforming the mountain into a sieve. The cave's vertical shafts became funnels, channeling a deluge downward with terrifying speed. The climbers radioed a warning, but the cave's thick rock walls swallowed their signals. Below, the team at Camp 6 remained oblivious, confident in their position 300 feet above the lake. Surely, they thought, the water couldn't reach them. They were gravely mistaken. Within 30 minutes, the cave erupted into chaos. A deafening roar reverberated through the tunnels, the sound of 1,000,000 gallons of water crashing downward. The ground quaked as a wall of liquid fury surged through the shafts, obliterating everything in its path. Tents were torn from their anchors, equipment swept away, and ropes shredded by the force. Camp 6 became a maelstrom, a swirling vortex of death where survival hung by a thread. Robbie Schoen faced an agonizing choice. His camera gear, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, was his livelihood, but it was dead weight in a flood. With seconds to decide, he abandoned it, salvaging only the memory cards that held his precious images. The real battle, however, lay ahead. To escape, the team had to ascend a rope now submerged in a roaring waterfall. Water pummeled them with brutal force, stealing their breath and threatening to rip them from their lifeline. Robbie went first, his mind racing. In a stroke of ingenuity, he tilted his helmet to trap a pocket of air, a lifeline against drowning. Inch by agonizing inch, he climbed, his muscles screaming against the torrent. Reaching a dry ledge, he turned to see Jeff Wade struggling behind him, gasping and faltering but alive. One by one, the team emerged, battered and soaked, their faces etched with exhaustion. But Pavel Demidov was missing. Minutes stretched into eternity until a faint light flickered in the darkness. It was Pavel, battered by a whirlpool that had nearly claimed him, yet defiant against the odds. For 20 hours, the flood raged, turning Veryovkina into a watery tomb. The team's survival was a miracle, a testament to human resilience, and a stark warning of the cave's wrath. Time heals wounds, but Veryovkina's scars run deep. In November 2020, a chilling discovery reignited its mystique. Explorers near the entrance spotted a frayed rope dangling in the wind, a grim omen in the caving world, a sign that someone had ventured in and never returned. 8 months later, in August 2021, a Russian team descended to investigate, their headlamps cutting through the gloom. At 1,300 feet, they found ice climbing gear, crampons, and an axe, tools ill-suited for the cave's muddy vertical terrain. The find was puzzling, a clue to an unknown story. Then at 3,600 feet, they stumbled upon a sight that froze their blood. A body still tethered to a rope, suspended in the darkness. The figure was motionless, a silent sentinel in the abyss. Identified as 37-year-old Sergei Kozayev, the man had been reported missing months earlier. But Sergei was no seasoned caver. Lacking proper training, equipment, or a team, He had embarked on a solo descent, a reckless plunge into the unknown. Theories abound. Did he lose his way in the maze of tunnels? Did his supplies dwindle, leaving him stranded? Or did a fatal fall claim him, his body preserved by the cave's frigid embrace? No one knows the truth of his final hours, only that Veryovkina exacted its toll once more. Veryovkina Cave is more than a geological marvel. It's a monument to nature's unyielding power, a realm where darkness is absolute. The air is a prisoner, and every step teeters on the edge of oblivion. It beckons dreamers and daredevils, luring them with the promise of triumph over the impossible. But its price is steep, paid in sweat, fear, and sometimes blood. Here, bravery is a hollow word. Courage falters in the face of forces that care nothing for human will. One mistake, a slip knot, a misjudged foothold, can erase you from existence, leaving only whispers in the void. Veryovkina doesn't forgive, it judges. So, we ask you, would you dare to step into this abyss, to test your mettle against the deepest, deadliest cave on Earth? Would you face the silence, the cold, the crushing weight of the unknown? Or would you turn away, content to let its mysteries remain unsolved? Tell us in the comments. Your voice might echo where others have fallen silent.